Hello, hello, my lovely friends. How are you? Happy Sunday. I hope that you are having a glorious Sunday. If you don't know who I am Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. You can learn a little bit more about me by checking out the information box down below, checking out the website, kittensweightsandtarot.com, maybe checking out the witchy shop, Desert Cauldron over on Etsy. So let me know what you guys have cooked up for today, what you guys got going for this week. Well, as you can see, I am hanging out in my little like herby, just foresty, wonderful section of the house. I'm just like so excited because this has been like my dream to have all of my herbs just readily available, ready to go. I actually have some really cool fairy lights that are on order, so they're going to be coming in to like hang out with my little garland. You can see up there, got a little garland of flowers, and yeah, so excited. All right, Lilith Phoenix is here. What's up? She says, Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year to you. Mwah! Yes, happy 2026. Here we go. And we will be quickly approaching the lunar New Year as well, where we're going to be running at a fast pace. I suppose it already feels like we're picking up the pace to go run alongside a horse energy. So year of the horse. And according to the Mayans who go off kind of the lunar / Venetian or Venetian calendar, they will be bringing in one Manik, which is brand new beginnings when it comes to leadership, power, authority, spirituality, all of that good stuff. So super excited. Okay. And Duality Tales is here. Yay! Hey, Happy New Year to you. Costalini is here. Hello! He says, a horse, you say. There's the synchronicity. Oh, yes. Speaking of horse, by the way, my mighty patrons, as you know, well, those of you that watched the replay or were with me in the live chat last week, I talked about some changes that I'm going to be making to my channel. And I already have, by the way, thank you so much for all of these suggestions. I took all of your suggestions, made note of them for the new name for my channel. So I'm going to be retiring Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. It has served me well for well over 10 years now. I'm like, okay, I am ready to evolve into like the next stage. And I've been feeling it for a while, but now I feel like, you know, when you get the nudge and it's like, okay, it's go time. I'm like, okay, it's go time. So I can embrace more of my herbally, foresty, off-griddy self. And of course, we're still going to have lots of magic on this channel, lots of good stuff, good times, but you know, just bringing in more of basically what I already am. So, you know, we're just making the channel reflect that. And so with the help of some friends, we're going to be redoing the website and bringing everything that's over on Desert Cauldron. We're going to bring that onto the website so you guys don't have to go to like different places like, oh, if I want to go to, you know, buy some wonderful handmade items, I have to go to Etsy, or I have to, you know, we're just going to have it all in one place finally, which is just on my website. So super freaking excited. And so you're, when I was saying, oh, by the way, Year of the Horse, I have my Wanderers over on Patreon. So I've redone like the names of all the tiers. So what was originally the Crystal tier is now my Herbal tier that talks about all aspects of that herb, the mythos of that herb, folklore surrounding the herb, actual physical uses of it for, you know, physical ailments that you may have, spirituality surrounding that herb, crystals connected to that herb, animals connected to that herb, and also talking about different animals as well. So it's flora and fauna, basically, not just flora. But anyway, for this month, they are learning about horsetail. So if you want to check out what the new offerings are over on Patreon, definitely go check it out. It's still under Kittens Waits Tarot. So still under the old name, but it will get switched over once everything's like complete, like the website and everything. So we'll take our time. There's no rush. We're gonna flow into it, but super excited. So, hey, so if you want to learn a little bit more about horsetail, head on over to Patreon. So I'm gonna put that back in my little herby shelf. And I do want to say thank you to all of my subscribers here at Kittens, Waits, and Tarot. Thank you for everybody who's been on this journey with me. We got new friends who joined us in 2025 and are joining us now here in 2026. And we have people that have been with me basically since 2016. When I started this channel, it was July of 2016. So we are getting close to that 10-year mark on YouTube. But Kittens, Waits, and Tarot is getting close to I think it's the 12-year mark. So that's freaking awesome. So ready for this new evolution, and we'll flow with it. All right, so Lilith says Fire Horse, but that's only from February 14th. I believe it is starting, to go on to the rest of the Lunar New Year. And yeah, there are different elements that are attached to, these Lunar New Year animals. So there's like fire, metal, water, so on and so forth, wood. I believe, I'm looking at my lunar astrology, I am a metal rooster. So it'll be a while before we hang out with the rooster again, but I love horses. So, I can't complain. I'm really excited about this year. Delisha says, hello, happy new year. This haircut looks so amazing on you. I'm so amazed. Well, thank you. Normally I just kind of like have my bangs back, but I kind of let them do whatever it is they do. My godsons say that I look like Rogue from the X-Men. I'll take it. And Alicia said, Happy New Year, everyone. Lilith says, I'm a metal goat, I believe. Well, hello, metal goats. 'Tis I, metal rooster. So thank you to everybody who is joining me on this journey, who has been with me on this journey, all of my live chat crew. Love you guys to the moon and back. Everybody who watches the replay, everybody who's given suggestions for videos and comments and contributed to such a beautiful chat during these live chats. I thank you really, truly from the bottom of my heart. And thank you to everybody who has become a YouTube member. You know who they are because they got those cool little colored kitty heads next to their name. I am, by the way, not doing away with cats because I am a cat girl at heart. In fact, I have my little mug here because we are going to, my little kitty mug, because we're going to be making a tea together. Yeah, so thank you to my YouTube members, Duality Tales, Costalini, Cinnamon Girl 8611, Jonathan Cleese, Nancy from Macron's Intuition, and to my lovely, lovely patrons, Linda and Sugna Baby, Casey Gritter, Joel, Oz, Palu, Brandy, Brian, Lily, Crystal, Easy Does It, Dana, Jamie, and Ashley. Love you all. I'm so freaking excited. And the new offerings came out for Patreon. So not only was that the flora and fauna tier, the wanderers, we're going over horsetail. But for some of my other tiers, there's like a, instead of pulling cards for them, I try to use channeling my intuition in other ways. Well, actually, it's the ways that I used to when I was younger. And I used to, channel everything into my drawings, into my art. I would make things, I would sew things, little crafty stuff. I would write stories, I would write poems, I would sing, I'd make music. And all of that was a form, my early form of channeling. And now that I've kind of gone on this journey, I want to revisit those roots. And so I'm so happy that my patrons there were excited about these new changes. So I was able to write a poem and make some music, like personalized poems and music based on that person's energy for the month. And also for my VIP tier, which is the keepers of the medicine, I intuit what they need. In terms of like a little creation, something physical that they can hold on to that represents what's going on energetically. And so that was mailed out earlier this week. So hopefully they'll get it sometime early this week, this upcoming week. So I'm really excited about all of these changes. Delisha says, I feel collective energy only truly works for a new year if everybody is embracing the new year energies on the 1st January 2026. It will shift the energy and manifest. Yeah, I mean, the collective is powerful. What the collective believes, that's the collective reality. What the collective wants, that's what the collective gets, and also, since we are each individuals of that collective, as we focus on our deepest wants and desires and how our soul wants to grow and all of that, that indeed also becomes our reality. So part of this new forming of the channel is something that's been inside of me, but now it's like, how do I want to put it? More of that is just kind of like seeping into my everyday life, like the past few years, since I've been here in Arizona, like all of that part of me that I kind of been holding inside so I can live like the city life and and do all these things. And it was kind of killing me. And I was like, off to the trees I go. And so off to the mountains and the trees. And now it's like, like the version of me that's been just like dying to come out is finally coming out. And now it's being reflected in my actual reality. Here we are creating not a brand new channel, but just an evolution of the channel. So super excited. And Duality Tales says, if only there were more people like you in the world, I would love to learn from the best. Well, thank you. Thank you. And it's because of you guys that I totally dig hanging out on this channel. That's why I look forward to my Sundays is not so that I can hear myself talk, but so I can interact with you guys. Just the energy that you all bring. That's why I'm also excited about all of these changes. I want to share me with you, And Alicia says, why do you choose 2026 only for this new change after so many years? Any specific reason? It wasn't 2026 that I wanted to make the change. I had already been feeling it. It was in December actually, and it wasn't like I was waiting for a date. Like, ooh, I'll wait till the 1st to make the change. It was like, no, we're ready to go now. And it just so happened to be right, kind of towards the tail end of December. So I guess it just kind of lined up with the Gregorian calendar. I don't know. But I didn't try to do that on purpose. Okay. I have decided that we could make a little tea together. Here's my little tea station. You guys like it? So I have like my little stirring spoon. Riley's sister got me this really cool like electric foamer if I'm going to make some like bougie herbal drinks. I think that's going to be really nifty. And then I have some of my teas here, my Kokicha Japanese tea, white tea, matcha tea, moringa tea. And so those are like my tea bases. And then obviously I have my herbs that I can add to it or not, it's kind of just whatevs. But anyway, we are going to be putting a little tea together. And I figured since, well, for a lot of people, the holidays can be quite hectic. So I want to make a tea that's going to help to calm our nervous system. And we'll definitely be going over a little tea or herb FYI, not FIY. Sorry for the typo, you guys. It is for the information that is yours. Anyway, we are going to come together to figure out what we need as a group, a type of herb medicine that we could connect with and utilize and work with and learn lots of good stuff about. And we'll do that after we create our tea. So there are several books on tea creation that I have, but I never follow them to a tea. So I just kind of like glance at it, and then I kind of go with my intuition of like, I'm going to replace this herb with this herb and this herb with this herb. So technically, the book that I'm utilizing right now for our tea that we're going to create is from Healing Herbal Teas by Sarah Farr. And I am looking at the Respite Nervine tea. I'm not going to follow this 100%, but I'll tell you exactly what I'm putting into it. So I'll probably put most of it, but not all. Not all. Okay. Well, while I put this together, I'm going to go click on my kettle. So excuse me for about 10 seconds while I go click on the kettle. I shall be back. And we're back. Okay, so my cool little kitty mug. I had a friend who gave this to me probably like, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. But anyway, what I like about it is you get to see like all the herbs swirling around in here, and there's like a little strain. You're not like chugging down the herbs. You can if you want to, I suppose. But anyway, so we are going to fill this up. We're going to be right over here. All right. Let's grab something heavy like my mortar and pestle, and this will help to hold my book open. Okay. Let's go with about a part and a half of some star anise, because star anise. I'm not a huge black licorice fan, but I like tempering the flavor of star anise, which kind of tastes a little licoricey to me, with other herbs that have a smoother taste in them, especially if I could throw some vanilla in. It's really good. And I do have vanilla bean. So maybe I'll throw that in, actually. That's calming. I feel calm with that. And let's see. Lila says, I vote for some linden tea. Ooh. Hold on. Let me see where I know. Oh, there we go. Linden is freaking fabulous when it comes to calming nerves. In fact, there are some more like naturalist type doctors that would prescribe linden, or sometimes even like linden and chamomile for people who have anxiety, panic attacks, issues with the nervous system. It really does help, and it really does help to promote a more restful sleep. So if you find yourself tossing and turning and you are a legit insomniac, try some linden tea. Like, seriously. Okay, so we'll leave out the linden, but let me grab my star anise. Where are you hiding, my friend? Oh, here you are. I'm gonna find maybe like, I probably only need 1 star because smell-o-vision. Smell it. Do it. When is YouTube gonna have smell-o-vision? Anyway, I probably only need 1 star because the flavor is intense. So I'm not gonna do a part and a half. I'm gonna do one star. 1 star of star anise. 1 star in a good way. Let's see, Delicious is 10 to 15 years. Oh my gosh, you keep it safe. Its condition is also like a new one. Must be special to you. Yeah, I try to keep as best I can all of my things in good condition. always repairing them. I try not to be wasteful, really, with like my material items, shoes, clothes, mugs, things like that. Like if they break, I stand them down and I try to like re-glaze them. Clothes, I'll just like remend them. I just, or, I love it actually when my jewelry breaks. You're like, crazy head, why? Why? Because when jewelry breaks, I get to remake it into something else. I get to like reimagine it, especially if a bracelet breaks. I'm like, ooh, we get to reimagine this bracelet into something really fun. And, if I totally have just like shredded a shirt, I don't know how that would happen. Maybe I'm playing in barbed wire. I don't know. Sometimes I could refashion it into like a purse or a headscarf or, I don't know. I just like that kind of stuff. Okay. The recipe calls for mint, but I have a thing for, ooh, you know what? Spearmint. Um, and actually, I just put in today some dried pieces of spearmint that grow wild in our front yard. So that actually is fabuloso. Let's do that. Let's put in, just a few leaves. Spearmint is kind of potente. And I think that's going to go really well with the star anise, actually. Maybe one more little leaf. And that has been drying since the summertime. So it's probably good and dry now. Okay. What else do we want to put in? Ooh, let's put in some of that linden. Yeah, let's do it. Delisha says, what about removing the old clothes and stuff then? It kind of depends. Sometimes, well, I kind of just go off of my intuition too. Sometimes like certain clothing, certain items, they just like let you know like we're all done here. Like the energy, we're all done here. And you're like, okay, okay. So I don't always repurpose every piece of jewelry or every piece of clothing. If something is screaming like, okay, we work together, I'm like, done. Stop repurposing me. Then I'm like, okay, okay, I'll let you go. But yeah, I just kind of feel into it. And Duality Tales is as I've been trying out some new herbal teas, passion flower and valerian root. So I'm loving this space. Oh, that's awesome. Dude, passion flower and valerian, super calming. Yeah, in the way that I feel like linden is, especially, yeah, passion flower, calming, also really good for lady time, our moon time. And valerian is also really good for that. It just like seems to really calm internal spasms and also the spasms of our nerves sometimes. So that is awesome. I love that. And Delisha says, if Delisha said, if that herb doesn't work out for insomnia, what will be the alternative? Um, I would say just try pairing it with other things like chamomile and linden, or linden and lavender. That's pretty good. But I would say some of those are the heavy hitters. And also what Duality Tales was talking about with the valerian root, even though valerian can be really stinky, once it's a tea, it's fine. It tastes really good, actually. I would say if you need a heavy hitter, valerian and linden. Yes. All right. I am just going to put a pinch of these linden flowers in there. Maybe a little bit more. Oop, that looks good to me. Okay. Since I was talking about chamomile being rather calming and a good pairing with linden flower, let's actually find my chamomile. Come here, what are y'all? Come out and play. I also like when I have to search through my herbs. It's kind of part of the fun, actually. I like it. I seriously do. All right, there you are. Ta-da! Chamomile, which actually tastes a little bit like apple. And My friend Heather taught me that when you put syrup, cinnamon sticks, oatmeal, and maybe some strawberries or blueberries together, it legit tastes like oatmeal. It's so good. It's so freaking good. Okay, I'm just doing one spoonful of the chamomile. All right. Well, I did talk about lavender, so maybe I will add some lavender as well. There we go. Do, 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 do. Where's my lavender? Here you are. Soak it in. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna do just a little, not a whole spoonful, because it's kind of, lavender has a very strong taste, so it kind of overpowers everything else. And we already have a pretty strong taste in there with the star anise, so I'm just gonna do about that much, maybe a little bit less. Okay, I did a little bit less. Okay. You know what else is really good? Skull cap. That calms like the internal guts. So I have this cool little tray, which I'm not really sure what it was meant to be used for, but now it's used for my little bits and packages of herbs that I don't really have enough to like put into a whole jar. So I know my skull cap is in here. Let's see. Ah, there we go. Skull cap. I'm running out of skull cap, man. So let's just put a teeny bit. Like so. Okay. And, oh, whoops. Let's see. Delisha said, excitement or chill? What do you choose? It depends on my mood. Mostly I'm always in for excitement, but I like a nice balance of chill once in a while. Like after the holidays, I've been into the chill. Raspberry leaf. I know I have you somewhere. I think that you are going to be lovely. So lovely. Okay. Raspberry leaf. I just now put it into a jar. Where did I put you? Oh, right there, right in the front. There's my raspberry leaf. And by the way, thrift stores have some really good jars, like good canning jars, and also just nice sealable fresh jars. So, because I know that if you try to buy jars new, they can be quite expensive. So I always suggest the thriftiness. All right. Just a little bit of the raspberry leaf. A little dabble de ya. I think I want to add 2 more herbs. And then I feel like I'm all done skis. You know what's good? I don't know if I put it into... Did I put it into one of these? I don't think so. It might still be in here. Catnip. Not just good for calming kitties down. I mean, eventually they calm down. They go kind of psycho for a moment, and then they calm down. Like my cats, Wally and Loki, that I used to have, they would just... You would swear they were on crack or something when there was catnip. Sorry, I'm just looking through my herbies here. Oh, hold on, let me see. Lilith says, just finding out St. James Ragworth has a nickname of Stinking Willie. Ooh. I'll take a hit of that stinking willy. That's awesome. I love the names of these herbs. um, let's see. And Delisha said, I'm having raspberry jam right now. What a coinky dink. Ooh, awesome. Lilith was wondering my thoughts on St. James Ragworth. You know, I've actually never worked with that herb. So I am now like, what, an herb that I do not know of? I must find out more information. So definitely after this live chat, I'm going to look it up and I will let you know. Ooh, and maybe I can find it at my local herbiary, apothecary. It's a wonderful family-owned business in the town of Sholo called Sunshine Herbs. And they have, everything's fresh. Everything is kind of weighed as you need it. Okay, I was pretty sure my, there you are. Catnip, found you. You can't hide from me. Just a hint of catnip. And we will not go, it will not make you psychotic like your kitties on catnip, by the way, just so you know. It's actually, it's part of the mint and thyme kind of cross family. So they're actually really calming, but refreshing. Also, if you're looking for another herbal alternative for your kitties so they can get all cracked out and then chill out, not only, well, not every cat likes catnip. You know, it's kind of like a stereotype that every cat goes after catnip. Not every cat does. Some cats go after valerian root, which is the root we were just talking about. And Wally and Loki loved valerian more than they loved catnip. And they would like literally like rub their faces on it and their eyes would be like rolling in their head. So, yeah. Delisha said raspberry or mulberry, like this poll. Yeah, you guys, raspberry and mulberry. What flavor do you prefer? And she said, when I was small, I used to have mulberries from the mulberry tree with my friends. It used to be the best time. Woo, that's awesome. I didn't get to grow up near mulberry bushes. That was something I had to go seek out, but that is really cool. I like that. And Lilith says, underneath at all, Tara is a cat after all. We're waiting to see you turn. Yes, I'm going to get the zoomies pretty soon. Okay, one last thing. I can never not add roses to things. I'm going to have to. So this is the last herb, and then we make our tea. Maybe a little bit more roses. Anywho. Ooh, whoops. All right. All right, roses. Okay. Take a look. This is going to be our little calming respite nervine tea made our way. Okay, so let me put my little doodad back on so I don't accidentally chug the herbs. I want them to be able to steep. Okay, and thank you, Mortar and Pestle, for holding my book open. That was really kind of you. All right. So I'm going to let me go get the kettle. I will bring the kettle in and we'll see how we did.
I got a slice of toast. Slice of toast.
Nah. Okay. Here we go, you guys. Ooh, so pretty. Look at you guys. Getting all herby, taking your little hot bath. All right, so we're going to let these guys steep. And let's head out to the living room and continue our little herby chat. Okay, so let me go put the kettle away. Okay, let's grab this and this and let's head out. Do you mind grabbing the laptop, please? You saw my elusive boyfriend. Okay, back to our little corner over here. A little corner of paradise. Okay, give me a second while I raise my tripod back up. Okay, ta-da, and we're back. Okay, oh yeah, let me grab the laptop so I can read what you guys are saying. The room is a little loud, honey.
Okay.
I can hear.
Oh, I'll turn it off. I'll turn it off. Well, I didn't know you were going.
Oh. Okay. Alrighty. Have a laptop. Hey, waiter. Okay. I've made it back. Okie dokie. Whew. Doot, doot, doot. There we go. Okay, so let me see. I missed some of your comments. Felicia said, I must say that I have never seen someone so obsessed and passionate about herbal tea. That's great. Well, I'm pretty sure I was an herb in a past life. Delisha said, have you tried rose tea? Milk, rose, ginger, cardamom powder, tea leaves, and some sugar. It tastes good. I have had rose tea. And that is like up there with like my top favorite teas, as well as golden milk. And I know that there's like a lot that is in golden milk. So when I find where my recipe is for that, I will share that with you guys. But that's really good, especially on cold nights. Unfortunately, it hasn't been too cold up here. Like, where's my snowman? My snowman. But anyway, let's see. And Delisha was wondering if we're doing super chats. We will. I just would like to go over the tea, not the tea, but the herb that we all kind of choose together. And I'm going to do a little talk about it afterwards. We will do our super chat, super stickers, and then we'll get into a guided meditation. So I'm really excited. Okay. Let's see how we're doing here. Check it out. I love it. It's starting to turn a beautiful golden color. And I love watching all the reanimation of the plant matter. It's wonderful. I am kind of, if you haven't noticed, I'm really geeky about plants. Okay. Speaking of plants, one of my good friends, she gifted me this plant for Christmas, and it just had basically this little lid on it. It's paper whites, or it will become paper whites once they start blooming. They'll look a lot like this. So pretty. But when I opened it, they were a little bit lower than these two small guys down here, and they were kind of covered in their what do you say, the external skin or something. So I kind of peeled it off and they seem to be growing a lot better now that they're getting some light on them. But these have been growing like crazy. They were literally smaller than this at Christmas time. And it's not been very long since Christmas, since the 25th. So look how tall they've gotten. Like literally every time I look over, I'm like, did you just grow again? Like, what the deuce? Oh my gosh. And you can see here, there's already one bud there. And I believe there's another little bud right there. Oh my gosh. And when they're all ready, this must be a great climate, by the way, because they're for winter. So they grow really well in cold weather. Um, but I'm going to transfer them when they're ready, when they're blooming and everything. I'm going to put them out in the front yard. And like we have these like troughs that have been filled in with soil, so you can have some like raised beds. And I think they'll do really well in there. Yeah, so these are my little plant babies. I'm like, ooh, grow, my friends. um, oh, and Alicia was saying it's called Kashmiri tea in India. Ooh, well, it's delicious. It is definitely delicious. Okay, so an herb. So you guys voted on some herb, FYI, so or FIY, for the information that is yours. So I didn't want to just choose an herb and say, oh, we're going to talk about this herb and, all of the good stuff about it. I decided to maybe have all of us in the live chat right now kind of come together and talk about, is there something that you guys are focusing on physically or even spiritually, so physically or spiritually, that you are looking to aid yourself? So like, let's say if it's physical, like I want extra luscious hair or something like that, or I'm suffering from a skin rash, or I have I have a bad case of halitosis after all of that candy, or whatever it may be. Or maybe it's more spiritual. I have trouble settling my mind, or I get like easily distracted or something like that. And just looking for an herb that might help. So just let me know, maybe one word. It'll definitely help as I'm looking through the comments, but one word, something that you would like a plant ally to help you with, to aid you with. It's not going to do all the work, but it'll definitely be helping you along with whatever it is that you are doing. So it'll help you. It will aid you, be a nice little friend. But yeah, just one word, something that you guys are focusing on. So it could be, there we go, like Costalini said, back pain. That's a good one. A lot of us have lower back pain, sometimes upper back pain. You could have a toothache right now, looking to alleviate dry eye, so you could say dry eyes, back pain, foot pain, GI tract issues. So yeah, let me know in the comments, and then based off of what you guys put, I'll go through the catalog that's in my brain. But I also, if you guys could see over here, I have a ton of my herb books. These are not all of my herb books. Literally almost all of the books that are in the bookcase in the bedroom are for herbs, like dedicated to herbs, all different types of herbs, different ways of using herbs. So whatever's not up here is in here. So we'll look it up. Okay, so Duality Tales is having trouble settling the mind. Okay, so settling the mind, back pain. What else? What else? What else do you guys have? And Kathy's here. Says, hey, hello, hello. Okay, so Kath is saying that she's having trauma, looping, and obsessive thoughts. Costalini said reproductive pain. Okay. I'm cataloging this right now as I'm trying to figure out like what herb would be most beneficial for many of those things that you guys are saying. And Alicia was talking about the golden milk, some saffron, cardamom powder, almonds, milk, and a little sugar. Serve it warm. and to try that one. I agree with her. It tastes freaking delicious. Lilith says also candida. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me start to think on what herb is good for a lot of that. So, for reproductive, for candida, for obsessive thoughts, a mind that is needs to be settled, back pain. Okay. So probably an anti-inflammatory, but also calming herb. Um, Maybe something that also acts as a muscle relaxant. Um, Ginger is really good for a lot of that. And you might even think like, well, ginger, that's like a spicy, how would that settle the mind? It actually is really good at settling. But I'll look through my books too and see what else we come up with. And Delisha said, my sister has OCD. I have told you before, something that you suggest for this. Okay. So let's put all of this together. What book do I think might be best? Let's look at this one. This is the Encyclopedia of Herbal Medicine, and this is the 4th edition by Andrew Chevalier. I think that's how you pronounce his name. So encyclopedia, this one is really good because also it has really good pictures in it. So if you're, a lot of herbs in their dried form look a lot alike. So I like all the descriptions that it has for certain herbs so that, you can like feel it, smell it, like a little bit of a taste and it helps you to differentiate, some of the herbs. But okay, let me have a little look-ski here. Oh yes, Delisha, after we go through our herb here, I would be more than happy to pull you a card for the super chat, super stickers. Let me just, let's see here. Let's look under this. Let's look under. Ooh, actually, let's look under a different term. And what I like about having multiple books is because not every book can have everything. Okay, so let's go to page 318. So sometimes I gotta like look through multiple books. But I like that too, because I'm also a biblio nerd. All right. Oh, I'm trying to figure out if this would work well for back pain and reproductive pain as well. Let me. I mean, lemon balm is good, but also valerian. We were literally just talking about valerian. Valerian is really good. Let's look up. Let me look up the properties of 3 different herbs, and then we'll pick the herb that I feel is the best for us to take a look into. But it's going to be between valerian, lemon balm, and damiana. Those are all really calming. What I like about lemon balm is it does have some like antihistamine and also anti-inflammatory properties, as well as valerian. Damiana is really good for sleep. So maybe actually I'll X that one out. So let's go between lemon balm and valerian. But I feel like valerian works even better. Actually, valerian is really good for inflammation as well. So you know what? Let's go with valerian. Let's do it. Okay. Let me look up some good intel for you guys for valerian. Let's see. Costolini said, you can get rid of candida by cutting off all sugar. My dad had it for a while, might still have it, but it went away when the sugar things that turn into sugar were cut. I noticed that for a lot of people, like if whatever inflammatory response was occurring in the body, in candida cells, they multiply when literally like sugar is like fire, like just it spreads, or at least it grows. But I noticed that when people cut back on sugar or simple like starches, simple sugars, that and starches that break down into sugars, that they had less inflammation, they felt less bloated, they had better sleep, they felt less anxious, the mind was less erratic. And a lot of it had to do with sugar, like that we just like take in a lot of sugar. And sometimes we don't even know we're taking in sugar. Like we're trying to not have a lot of sugar, but we just do. A lot of fast food restaurant chains, I had found out, they incorporate a lot of sugar into like their burgers and a lot of their meals to make them more appetizing, because sugar like hits that dopamine in the brain and the serotonin and all the good stuff, that normally gets activated like when we work out, or we are in a happy event like the holidays. And so they've replaced or added a lot of sugar into the foods to get us to like want to eat more, or want to have more of it, buy more of it. And so it tastes more delicious, but sometimes we don't even know that sugar's in there. So I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, valerian 152, there you are. There we are, valerian. See, Cass says, I think coconut oil is good for candida. Dude, coconut oil is also, love coconut oil. Also, I kind of have stopped doing it, but I should go back to doing it. I like to swish with coconut oil. So like after, like I brush my teeth and everything, I just have like a little bit of coconut oil. I guess it sounds kind of gross, but you just like swish it like mouthwash. It melts, and then you just swish it for like 10 minutes. And a lot of people call it oil pulling. They might use different oils. I prefer coconut oil. Some people use castor oil. But it pulls a lot of the stuff that's hard to reach with like your floss and your toothbrush. And like one of my neighbors, she said that her dentist was just like, this is wizardry. Like you must be some kind of wizard, because what are you doing to your teeth? She's literally growing new enamel, and it's growing, like her teeth are becoming stronger, and she's reversing a lot of her cavities. And the dentists are like, what? Like this does not compute. This is not in our books and our training. So yeah, I know she's like a really good testament to that. And also like some of the receding gums that I have, it's been reversed due to oil pulling, like with coconut oil. And I had asked back when I haven't been to a dentist in a while, but there was this one lady, she was the lady that would clean my teeth for my dental cleanings. And I had asked her like, why are my gums receding? She was like, you had braces, didn't you? And I said, yeah. And she said, well, something that they don't tell parents who are getting braces for their children is that when you're older, you are 100% going to have receding gums. It's just what happens when you move the teeth and they're not meant to move. And I was like, oh, okay, that sucks. Thanks for telling me now. Could have told 16-year-old me, that would have been great. Let's see. Ooh, Cass like or oregano oil. That would be really good too, because oregano has what do you call it? It's not, I keep thinking of the word antihistamine. It's not antihistamine, although it has a little bit of that. Antibiotic and antiseptic properties. Aha, that's what I was trying to say. So yeah, also good for the teeth. Also a good probiotic for candida. I had it bad a couple of years ago. Oh yeah, probiotics, also really good. And you can find a lot of good probiotics in food as well. And there are good probiotics in calendula herb. No. Oh, yes, herbs do have some probiotic as well. Um, Delisha said for anti inflammation, have ginger plus raw turmeric plus honey. You can search it as well. This combo of three works like magic for any sort of inflammation. Yeah, ginger and turmeric, along with a bunch of other herbs and horsetail and ashwagandha root and all that nettle, they were in the tea that I had when I broke my arm, and my arm is now 100%. So yeah, I can attest to that. And a turmeric is really, really good, really, really good for your teeth. It does stain. Um, but it's actually used for a lot of clothing dyes, like natural clothing dyes. It has a beautiful yellowish orangey color to it. But yeah, really good for anti-inflammation. Costolini says, I like the name Valerian. It sounds fancy. It's very fancy sounding, very stinky, but once it's it's turned into a tea or something, it loses its stink. So please do not be put off by the stinky feet smell that it has. Um, Cass said Game of Thronesy. Oh, yes. And Lilith says, thank you, Kath and Costolini. She was talking about oil pulling. I've only um, I've only tried it once. Yeah, give it a good go. Like I said, a lot of people use castor oil, but I prefer coconut oil. I think it tastes better. And don't spit it down your drains, by the way. Just spit it into the trash can because that oil solidifies at some point, and that's not good for your pipes. um, and Delisha says oil pulling is a concept of Ayurveda science. Yes. And I do look into a lot of Ayurveda, by the way. I think there's a lot of good stuff. Cass says, oh no, I had braces also. Yeah, there's a lot of these dentists, they don't tell us. Um, some dentists have because a lot of people are going like more the natural route. A lot of doctors, dentists, they're, you know, trying something different because obviously what's been happening here in the West is making a lot of people very sick. So when it comes to like dentistry, some of my friend, one of my friends, he's a dentist in Mexico, and he was like, yeah, it's actually really not good for your gums to floss every day. He goes, I know that's like been the thing of like, don't forget to brush and floss, brush and floss. He says, but do you know what brushing and flossing does? He goes, it creates receded gums and it creates future root canals and crowns. So he says, we make money in the long run off of you brushing and flossing every day. He says, not to say you shouldn't brush. He says, definitely brush your teeth. He says, but, and this was coming from a few other dentists, they were saying that back in our pre-toothbrush days, as we were still evolving as a people, we would brush our teeth with basically the foods that we ate. If you ate an apple, apples are really good at cleansing the teeth. Things that had roughage to them would kind of clean off minor stains. And people didn't really eat a whole lot of sugar. A lot of stuff was just like straight from the earth, or they ate animal flesh, and so it wasn't really bad for the teeth. All that buildup didn't really occur. And because there was so much roughage in the diet with berries and seeds and stuff like that too, it helped to kind of keep the gums clean. It helped to keep the teeth clean. And so people didn't need to brush their teeth. But now that we have everything with so many dyes and additives and sugars and everything, our regular foods don't wash that stuff away. And so we have to brush our teeth and we have to floss once in a while, perhaps not every day, but we floss once in a while, or we do that oil pulling, or other tips and tricks that people have. Let's see, Duality Tale says, I've had to treat myself to some of these new herbs. Thank you. Ooh, I'm glad I inspired you. Costolini says, medical people don't really comprehend the whole informed consent thing. I agree. 100. 100. And Delisha said, turmeric milk is magic. I agree with that. In India, most of our grandparents tell us to have turmeric milk at night before sleeping. Ooh, that sounds like a really good remedy. And Cass said, strawberries to whiten teeth. Yes, strawberries and the skin of bananas, banana skins. We don't just toss the skin. Wipe that skin across your teeth just a little bit. It's a natural whitener. It takes off very mild stains. So cool. And Delisha said, I have used strawberries as a face pack many times, eating some and applying it to my face. So natural. And who doesn't love strawberries? Probably people who are allergic to strawberries. But for, yes, other people, many people like strawberries. Okay, we were talking about valerian. You guys were talking about a host of ailments from candida to back pain to restless minds, attention deficit disorder, all of these things. So we have come up with valerian. Da, da, da. It's like valerian's pretty. What if that was my name? Valerian. Except valerian's stinky. It must mean I'm a stinky girl. But anyway. Okay. Here's some info for you guys. Valerian. Valerian has been used as a sedative and relaxant at least since Roman times. It was known to Dioscorides in the 1st century, who named it foo. The sound of the word reflecting its unpleasant smell. Oh, foo. Valerian helps relieve stress and has become an increasingly popular remedy in recent decades. It is a safe, non-addictive relaxant that reduces nervous tension and anxiety and promotes restful sleep. Okay. Native to Europe and Northern Asia, valerian grows wild in damp conditions. It is cultivated in Central and Eastern Europe. The plant is grown from seed in spring, and the root and rhizome of the 2-year-old plants are unearthed in the fall. Let's see. So what makes up this valerian that makes it so potente and awesome? Okay, so it has volatile oil up to 1.4%, including boranyl acetate, beta carotene, and it has iridoids, valtrate, isovaltrate, and alkaloids. So what I know about volatile oils and things like that, they're really good with anti-inflammation. So anti-inflammation, probably aiding in that restful sleep. Okay, so its key actions are that it is a sedative, relaxant, relieves muscle spasms, hello back pain, relieves anxiety, and lowers blood pressure. Okay, some therapeutic properties. Extensive research in Germany and Switzerland has endorsed the use of valerian to aid sleep, improve sleep quality, and lower blood pressure. A German trial carried out in 2002 that tested valerian and ozepam, a conventional sleep treatment, found both to be effective. 83% of those taking valerian rated the treatment as very good, compared to 73% of those taking oxazepam, basically the pharmaceutical. So people were reporting that they felt better with the herb as opposed to the pharmaceutical. Nice. A 2020 Japanese systemic review examined 60 studies investigating valerian and found it to be safe and effective herb to promote sleep and reduce anxiety. Let's see, let's go back to our ancestors. How did our ancestors utilize this? Okay, known as all heal in the Middle Ages, valerian was credited with many virtues, in particular with healing epilepsy. In 1592, Fabius Columna published a detailed work on herbal medicine in which he claimed to have cured his epilepsy with the herb. Valerian reduces mental overactivity, which is what you guys were talking about, needing help stilling the mind, and nervous excitability, helping people who find it hard to switch off. It is beneficial for almost any stress-related condition and, in general, has a calming rather than directly sedative effect on the mind. Many symptoms of anxiety, including tremors, panic, palpitations, and sweating, can be relieved with valerian. It is a useful remedy for insomnia, whether caused by anxiety or overexcitement. Valerian relaxes overcontracted muscles. So anybody who's like feeling tense all the time, or sometimes when we have an injury, we tend to over tense or overcompensate with our other muscles. And so we're just like tense all day. So valerian, really good for that. So it's also helpful for shoulder and neck tension, asthma, colic, irritable bowel syndrome, period pain, and muscle spasms. Valerian is used with other herbs and remedies for high blood pressure caused by stress and anxiety as well. Okay, so there are different preparations. You can turn it into tablet form and powder form. You can take it as a tincture, a decoction. It says caution, may cause drowsiness, but you know, that's kind of the intended effect. Let's see. And again, if you wanted to see what that looks like, let me sit up here. Here we go. There it is when it's just out and about in the wild. Here's the rhizome and roots that are often used medically. And then the pieces over here, oh, that's the dried root. So that's the dried version. So this is fresh. This is dried. Let me go get my valerian because I have a jar of valerian so you guys can see kind of what it looks like for moi. Okay. I think I used a really thick jar with my valerian because it's stinky. Where are you? There you are. Okay, here we are. This is my valerian. Oh my, I'm gonna hold my nose. This is it in its dried form. It smells like stinky feet. But I swear, whenever I've made tea with it, and I'm just like, putting it into my mug, but once the hot water hits it and like blanches or whatever, it's like, oh, like I don't smell the stinky feet anymore. It's actually really good. So, so yay, valerian. Okay, so I'm gonna put that right here. Ooh, I believe it is time to test our tea and perhaps pull a few cards for the super chat and super stickers. So let's see how our tea came out first. Oh. Okay, let me see if I can place the taste, like paint a scene for you guys. It tastes like, well, first of all, the scent, I can smell a little bit of that star anise, but it's like the smallest hint of licorice in a field of flowers, like really earthy flowers. And it's kind of got a sweetness, a sweet smell to it too. Okay, so let's paint a picture with the taste. If I were to say a season that this tastes like spring, but not when spring is in full bloom and full swing and everything's like all excited. It's like just like at the end of winter, kind of, around Imbolc, and we're getting close to springtime, close to Ostara, but not quite into it. And we're just like, things are starting to bloom and it still has that like dew taste to it, that freshness of winter or coolness of winter, but also with the awakening of spring. That's what I say this tea smells like and tastes like. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to let that continue to steep a little bit more. There was one more thing I wanted to say about valerian. And yes, I see that we have some friends that we're going to be reading for with our super chats and super stickers. I'm super excited. And thank you, by the way. Are you even in this book? Let's see here. Okay. First, I have to know my ABCs. Valerian. There we go. This book that I'm looking at is Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. So this is like how it was used ritualistically by our ancestors in the past. Okay. I like how they put a little side note. We strongly urge against driving right after taking valerian. Yes, we know it is putting us to sleep. Okay, so it was used for love, sleep, purification, and protection. The rather ill-smelling root, I concur, it lives up to its medieval name of foo. Powdered, is used in protective sachets hung in the home to guard it against lightning and placed in pillows to aid in falling asleep. The only thing with that is that it kind of stinks, so I would probably have a hard time keeping that herb under my pillow and trying to go to sleep. It would be like sleeping on somebody's stinky foot. So I would suggest maybe having a valerian tea and then having a lavender pillow, like a little lavender dream pillow underneath your pillow, which I do have actually, and I think it helps with my sleep. Let's see, and I would say so. It would probably guard against bad things happening to your home. Nobody wants to come in the stinky foot home, so I can see that. I could see that working. A sprig of the plant pinned to a woman's clothing will cause men to follow her like children. It must smell better in its like a live form. Valerian root is also added to love sachets. If a couple is quarreling, introduce some of this herb into the area and all will soon be calm. The Greeks hung a sprig of valerian under a window to charm away evil. Valerian root powdered is sometimes used as graveyard dust. Yes, I do know that that is one alternative to that. Okay, so I'm just going to put my little marker there. Okay, so let me grab my decks and let's take a look at what you guys have to say. Delisha was wondering, how much valerian? If you are going to have a tea, like let's say roughly 8 ounces of tea, like 8 ounces of water, I would go with 1 tablespoon of valerian. If you have bigger mugs, like I think this is a little more than 8 ounces of water, but sometimes people have like huge mugs where it's like a 16-ounce mug. So I would say for every 8 ounces, have like 1 tablespoon in its dried form. It's a little harder to utilize roots that are in its fresh form and just like pour hot water over it because it's got a thick outer layer. So you might want to do a decoction in that case if you have more of the fresh material. So if you have fresh material, I would say like 1 heaping handful, put about 2 cups of water into a pot, bring it to a boil, let it boil down to 1 cup, take it off the stove, strain it out, and then drink it from there. A decoction just allows the hot water and with the boiling process and everything to really integrate into roots and bark, and any type of like hard plant material. So if you have the fresh stuff, do a decoction. If you have it in a dried form, then I would suggest just making a tea just like we did here. So 8 ounces of water, maybe like a tablespoon of valerian. So great question. Lilith says, thank you, Kath. We'll be looking into obtaining some oregano oil and usnea, also known as bear root. Let's see. Melly says, I just subbed, but another note about the gums, microplastics with the toothbrush. You can get a natural bristle brush and valerian and hops will make you sleepy. They sure will. And yes, I agree with the natural bristle brush. Thank you for bringing that up. Microplastics seem to be finding their way in. Well, they've they've been there for a while, but now people are really taking a notice. Like it's in a lot of our clothing and it's everywhere. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Lilith says, I don't think it smells all that bad. Powerful, but not stinky. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe my nose is just like stinky. All right. So I know that we have a card to pull for our friend Alicia. And then we have our friend Duality Tales and Kathy. Cass says, whatever I need to know right now. Gotcha. All right. And Delisha says, these herbs can be dangerous as well if taken more. True. Yeah. I mean, just like with anything, all in moderation. Too much of a good thing cannot be so good anymore. Even like strawberries. If we're just eating tons and tons and tons and tons of strawberries, that's going to have a little bit of an opposite effect on us at some point. So yes, I agree. In moderation. Costolini says I'm 8% recycled plastic. Wow, nice. Oh, oopsie. He says, that's how I know 23andMe is lying. Oh, wow. James Dolan was wondering if those are massive pine cones. Yes, those are. Those are Coulter's pine cones, and they smell really, really good. And the reason I have so many of them is I collected them when we were visiting friends in Idlewild. And if you put it in the fireplace or just like let it bake on a baking sheet in the oven, it makes the whole house smell like a wonderful, delicious pine. So yes, I have my Coulter pines there. Okay, so let's pull a card first for our friend Alicia, who is asking what's coming up for me as New Year's has started. All righty. Let's see. I have a few different decks here. I have my Wally's World, I have my Nature Speak Oracle, and Walking Meditation Tarot. I feel like the Walking Meditation Tarot for your question. Also, how naturey is that? I love my nature decks. Okay. Let's tap into Delisha. Okay, interesting. Who puts this compilation together? I believe it's Moby. Bring Sally up, bring Sally down, bring some goes around, do 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 do. All big news is dead and gone. I missed out on the words. Bring Sally up, bring Sally down, bring Sally in, goes around. Interesting. Okay, but I think Moby created that song. Let's see why that's coming in and how that's connected to your New Year's message. Ooh, all righty. We have the Five of Swords. Okay, so probably while I'm listening to the Moby song in my head, bring Sally up, bring Sally down. Because the melody of the song kind of goes up and down, but the whole time it's got this beat of like moving forward, like people clapping, moving forward. So with 2026, your higher self is just letting you know that whenever we, maybe especially even this year, and for you, make things concrete in our mind. We decide that I am going to, I don't know, let's see, let's go back to when I was like college age. In my brain, it was like, okay, I'm going to go off to college and I am going to be a fashion design major. And then I'm going to graduate as a fashion design major. And maybe I'll just open my own little seamstress business. And then I'm going to get married. And that's how it's going to be. It's going to be my life. So cut to the first semester of college. I'm not going to be a fashion design major. I am undeclared. So it's like that, 2026 is like, this is not the year to decide that you control the plans. You can have an idea of like, okay, well, I'm kind of interested in this. I'm interested in this. So for now, I'm going to work towards this. So let's go back to my original example of moi. 2026 says, if I were following that advice, I would have said, okay, I'm interested in sewing. I like drawing and designing clothing. For now, I'm going to try, this fashion design thing, but I'll leave it open to, wherever I feel pulled to or directed. And that would have saved me a lot of anxiety and headache of having to call myself undeclared, because I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with my life? I don't know what to do. I'm only 18 years old. Like, what am I going to do? And so but if we're more open-ended, if you're like, okay, I have an idea of what I want to do, or even, making plans with friends, maybe you have an idea of what you want to do. Like, I want to hang out with my friend on Wednesday at 2:00. We're going to go get a soda together or something like that. We have these ideas, but to leave room for the unexpected, to leave room for the magic, for the opportunities. And if you can do that and you can focus on that, you're going to have a way more fun, adventurous, and enjoyable year. But the moment we get stuck on, this is how it's going to be my way or the highway, universe, then we're going to run into problems. Then we're going to run into headache and why me and why isn't this working? And then we keep banging at the same thing over and over again. And it's like we keep getting the same results. So 2026 is, please leave room for the unexpected. You can have an idea, go for it, but it's okay if things change. It really is. It doesn't mean that something's going wrong. It doesn't mean that something's bad. It just means that we were meant to go this new direction, or we were meant to go take a little detour here. So just keeping your eyes and your spiritual eyes open for redirection or even opportunity within the opportunity. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you. Thank you. And Alicia said, 5 of Swords from a different deck. An armed girl was holding a sword, and there was a door with light in front. And the message was similar, which you are giving now for January 2026. Oh, wow. And she says, when you had the 2026 personal reading for January, you pulled 5 of Swords only. And you told me not to be hard on myself for the studies. Yeah. So, I think that kind of correlates with the message that we had right now, which is just to just let it be a little bit more in flow, a little bit more open-ended. And, that coincides with not being so hard on ourselves. How could we be hard on ourselves when really we're just following, our intuition, we're following the flow, we're following, the creator that is guiding us, along the way. Of like, hey, what about over here? Have you looked over here? Lila says, just a friendly reminder to double tap your screen. Thank you, to drop a thumbs up if you haven't, to let Tara know you are enjoying the content. Subscribe to find your way back tomorrow. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's see. Let's go to our friend Duality Tales. And Duality, let's see. Did you have your question yet? Let me look here. Yes, so Delisha, you are definitely still walking on the same timeline, or at least, yeah, very similar timeline. Yes, yes. All right, so yeah, Duality Tales, let me know what your question is. By the way, I love the super chats and super stickers because they're animated and I just like watching them sometimes. All right, and then afterwards, of course, we will get to our friend Kath. Okay, so Duality Tales said, please just tap in and give me some guidance if possible. Sure thing, my friend. Okay, let me put that card back in the deck. Let me just do a little resituation. Okay. Ooh, we also need another sip of our live chat tea. That is so good. That is so good. If I pass out during the live chat, wake me up. I doubt I'm going to pass out. Okay, duality tale. Here we go. The song Return to Innocence by, is it Enigma? I believe. Return to innocence. I, oh, I, oh, I, oh, I, oh, I, oh, I, oh, yeah. Return to innocence. When you start to laugh, when you laugh, you start to cry. Just believe in destiny. Don't care what people think. Just follow your own heart and return to innocence. Oh my gosh, I love that song. What a great song. Thank you for putting it in the spiritual radio. I dig it. Riley said, yes, it is Enigma. Aha, I got it right. Delisha, you are very welcome, my friend. She said, sending you lots of love and blessings. Same to you. Okay. What does Duality Tale need to know? With this beautiful song that's playing in my brain right now. Thank you. Oh, the Knight of Wands. And it's got my friend, the little chipmunk. These look like the little chipmunks that we got out there. Well, not right now. It's a little cold for them. But they'll be back in the spring. Our little squirrely friends and chipmunk friends. Oh, okay. Let's tap in. Okay, there is a resounding message of coming in saying, it's okay to go back to something that you've already done. Like it was coming in like really loud. It says that sometimes we feel like when we're talking about like evolving and growing, that everything always has to be like, we always have to reinvent the wheel somehow. It's like, wow, let's say somebody is like waking up and they're like, I'm noticing all these things about the world that I haven't seen, noticed before. And, my intuition's like out of control. Now, because I'm seeing the world differently, I need to change my whole style. I got to change how I live. I got to, maybe that's all well and good and that's on your path and you're being called to that. But it says we don't have to do that every single time where we're feeling into something new, that we have to drastically change everything. And it says if you feel like, you're moving and evolving and flowing, but you feel like you're being called back to something that was like 15, 20 years ago, like that's okay. There's a reason we're being recalled, back to that, not like recalled, but called back to, what we used to do, or perhaps even, a way in which we used to pray, or a way that in which we used to interact with others or animals and things like that, because you're not the same person. We've shed our skin, who knows how many times to where you are at this point right now. So to go back to something is not a regression. It's not a, wow, I thought I grew past this. No, not at all. We do revisit things, but now we're revisiting, we're in a different energy. We might even be in a different belief system. We might have a different perspective and point of view. Heck, our whole energy is different. So how can that thing that we're going back to possibly be exactly the same? It can't interact the same with us because we're not the same. So in essence, going back, just like the song Return to Innocence, everything going in rewind, going back. Let's say that well, we were talking about herbs today. Let's say you used to love to play with herbs, and learn about herbs and everything, but you kind of gotten away, away from that. I know this is the opposite of what you're saying. You're like, oh, actually, I really love herbs. I'm just using like an example. But let's say you got away from it, and you're more into other things now, and you're like, wow, I don't know why I'm being called back to herbs. That's so like 20 years ago. Like that's so 2006, you know? But you're not the same person going back and revisiting those herbs. So how you interact with them and the opportunities that you're going to experience with them, the people that you're going to surround yourself because of this way that you're interacting with this thing that you used to interact with, it is going to be different. And it's also a part of your growth. So in short, it's okay to go back to something that you think, oh, I've grown past. But if you're being called back to it, go back to it, because you're not the same person going back to it. And it's going to create a whole new experience for you and a whole new outlook when you go back to that thing. And why I'm feeling like probably that message really intensely is because that's literally what I'm doing too. I'm when I was little, I used to talk to the plants. I would talk to the trees. I talked to the animals. I talked to the ants on the ground. I would have snail meetings. And also, why my parents no longer let me keep snails in the house is because they got free. I played with worms. I like, I was always like into all of that, and I could feel the earth talking to me. I feel the creator talking to me through all of those things. And then, at some point I was like, oh, well, I'm growing up. I'm kind of growing away from them, but I've always loved them. But I thought that was always just little kid stuff. So somehow I have to not like it, but it's always been a part of me. And now I'm at this stage where like, I can't contain it anymore. Like, that's me. I like to play with snails. I like to play with worms. I like to play with ants and redirect them. I like to talk to trees, and I like to talk to animals. I like to do all that stuff. But I'm not the same person going back to what I used to love as a kid. So I'm working with it differently. But I feel like that same message is also for you. So I hope that makes sense. Let's see. Love Mia. I would love to pull you a card. We're doing super chats and super stickers right now. James Dolan says, looks like Poppy the Prairie Dog on YouTube. Oh my goodness. And then Melly is like, Poppy is so cute. Aw. I will have to go check that out. Okay, our friend Kath says, whatever I need to know right now. All righty. Let's pull you a card, my friend. And then we have our friend Costalini and Lilith Phoenix. Dual Detail said, wow, yes, thank you. You are very welcome. Love Mia, yes, it's just a donation, so it's totally up to you. Okay, so let's see. Let's tap into Kath. What does she need to know right now? Wow. Okay, Cass. Interesting song that's playing in my mind right now. I'm really interested to see how your message is connected to it, but it's from Korn's Freak on a Leash. So now we're going heavy metal. All right. Feeling like the freak on a leash. Feeling like I had no release. How many times have I said something taken away from me? Oh my gosh, now I have Korn just like dear. All right, I'm gonna just like headband all by myself. That's cool. Okay, let's see what Freak on a Leash means for you from the band Korn. of 90s fame. Lilith is like, rock on. Okay. Ooh, we have 5 of Wands. Yes, there we go. We got the album cover right there. Love it. Actually, my best friend, my brother from another mother, that's his favorite band in the world, next to Tool, which is my favorite band. But anyway, okay. So 5 of Wands, Freak on a Leash. Interesting. I don't usually get a whole lot of rock coming in, which I'm glad we got some rock this time. Wow, it's like the whole song is playing. Okay, what I was getting, um, so think about I mean, actually, you could pull up the lyrics to the song on the computer right now if you wanted. Um, but all of it is just about, well, I mean, what was his name? Jonathan. Oh my gosh, I haven't like heard the names of the band members in so long. But basically it's like about everything being confined. Like everybody's like wanting me to do this and they want me to do this and they want me to do this. And although that might be rather extreme the way it's being portrayed in the song, the message for you is to really take a look at what directs your life on a daily basis. And this has actually come up in a couple of recent readings that I've done, where a lot of people are ready to start reclaiming sovereignty in different aspects of their life and maybe eventually in totality in their life. But so taking a look at like, occupation, like who decided on the occupation? And you might say, well, I'm the one that decided on the occupation, but was there an influence? We're always influenced. We're influenced by things every day. We're influenced by the culture that we live in. We're influenced by our parents, by society. We're influenced by what's on television, by pop culture. We're, influenced by our besties. We're influenced by what they say is cool to wear in the stores. And they say, here, buy this, or listen to this. And so this is just asking you to really take a look at the influences in your life. And not to say that influence like is a bad word, just that the more we're aware of what the influences are, the more clear we are on the choices that we make. If we're just going all willy-nilly, and just like, I'm just, eating this because McDonald's told me to, and I'm just like wearing this because Dolce and Gabbana told me to, or, and we're not really, aware of it. But the more aware we become, we decide, oh, I see. Well, maybe I really like, what am I wearing today? A turtleneck? Maybe I really like turtlenecks because I recently saw it in a TV show. I thought it looked really cool. So it's like, do I still really want to wear it? Or do I feel like I'm just wearing it because I saw some other actress wearing it? It's like, no, actually, I really do like turtlenecks. Okay. All right. So my clear decision, I choose to wear a turtleneck. I know that's just a simple example, but this is the message is just asking you to be aware of, like, the things that you enjoy doing in your free time, your hobbies, the people that you find attractive, the company that you keep, the TV shows that you like, the furniture that you have in your house. These are all wonderful things to start journaling right now and just taking a look at, like, where did the influence for that come from? And sometimes we're influenced by our best friends, and that's cool too. But as long as we're aware, and we might go, well, wow, you know what? I really actually don't like the color brown. I don't know why I wear brown. I actually really like yellow. I should wear yellow more, you know? So, so it's things like that. And the more you make yourself this year, and for the years to come, aware of why you're making those choices, the more sovereign you begin to feel, the more in charge you are, because it's not somebody just leading you on a leash. It's you're the one that's in the lead, and exactly why you're making those choices. So it'll just help things to be a lot more clear in 2026 for you when you're like, should I do this or should I do this? If you can make yourself more clear in other areas in your life, then making decisions in the day to day will be much easier for you. And that'll translate over to like the bigger decisions as well. All right. So thank you, Kath, for allowing me to read for you. I hope you found that helpful. Um, Love Mia was wondering if I have PayPal. Yes, I do. Actually, I have a few people that like to pay through PayPal, and all you have to do is scan that little QR code that you see up there, and that'll take you straight to my PayPal. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back here. Kath, you are very welcome. Thank you. Thank you for letting me read for you. Okay, so Costalini. Oh, hold on. It says your message was deleted. Let me see if you've written it someplace else. Costalini says, I once heard a reader say all the fives are bad. You never want them. I don't think anything's ever bad. It just is a reordering of a situation. um, and then let's see. Let me. Yeah, Costalini, I'm not seeing your message there. Um, hmm. So if you don't mind retyping it, um, it says I deleted your message. I do not recall deleting your message. Okay. But after our friend Costalini, we have our friend Lilith, who did a PayPal donation. Thank you, thank you. And then Duality Tales. And I Flips. And then I believe we have Love Mia as well. Okay, so Costalini says it was, did G show her mom pictures of me? Instagram keeps recommending her mom as a follower. And while I may have just eaten salmon, this feels fishy to me. Weird technology and us this week. And US this week, lots of issues. Okay, all right. So let's tap in. Okay. Alrighty. Let me have another little sip of tea while it's still warm. It's really good. I'm probably going to have to make this again. I like to write down the recipes that I concoct that are really good. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That was good. Okay. Straight to the heart, but you're too late. You give love a bad name. All right. Thank you, rock and roll, for coming through. Okay, let's pull you a card. Did G show her mom your pictures? Is this why mom is being recommended on social media? Ooh, King of Wands. What a beautiful cardinal. We have beautiful cardinals like this in Arizona. Okay, let's tap in. Yes. So I would say there was a picture or two, but then also the mom was directed probably by G to check out your social media. Um, okay. Okay. So we were talking before that at at some point you were like surrounded by members of the opposite sex, and then now it's like, oh, and now it doesn't seem so much so, but that's just the appearance. And it's again, we're just not just talking about females, but it feels like while you're in your dating yourself phase and really getting to know what you want and who you are, and you're growing and expanding and all these wonderful things. So, you're just taking a little break skis from the dating scene. That there are all these other people surrounding you now. What even ones that are not like interested romantically, just like people in general, um, guys, gals, they're all very interested in you right now because you are exhibiting an energy that some people find difficult to be in. There are some people who, on their life's journey, they have just decided, I don't like being alone. I don't like, I'm actually a little afraid to find out who I am on the inside. And so people, just for a different way of getting to know themselves, they try to get to know themselves through other people. Either it's their romantic partner or it's their friends, or they try to get to know themselves through their family, or their society. And instead of going inwards, because maybe some people are afraid what they might find. They're afraid they might not find anything, that it might be too difficult. But you're in this energy of like, I'm just on this quest to find myself, to boldly go where no one has gone before. And everybody's like, ooh, nice. I like what you got going on there. This is interesting. Like you're making my brain explode. So, like I said, whether or not they're actually romantically attracted to you, it's like people, guys and girls, are like, what? There's something going on here that is fascinating to me, and I must watch. Maybe they don't want to like actually go up and talk to you, or but they're like, I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be lurking. See how this goes. Like, is this something I want to try for myself? I don't know. So I get this feeling that, yes, first of all, for your question, I do feel like a couple of pictures of you were shown to the mom. The mom is now checking out your profile, which is why she's coming up as a suggestion in your social media, because she is somebody who has looked at your things. But they're just like the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of people watching you right now. You may not know that, but there are. And they're very interested in what you're doing, how you're doing it, and why you're so cool with just being with yourself, just being you. So that's awesome. Um, Costalini says, this is going to be so freaking embarrassing for her, but I'm very happy to hear about this glow up. Yes, yes. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Riley says, kind of like watching a train wreck. I doubt it's like watching a train wreck. Costalini, you are very, very welcome. Um, but yeah, there are people who are just like, what? Why is he? Wow, he's just cool with himself. Like he's just wow, wow, That's awesome. Lilith says, wasn't that like almost opposite a few weeks back? Yes, we've done a whole 180, it seems. Okay. I believe, Lilith, you are next. And your question asks, last week you mentioned my last past life was eventful and short before descending again. Can you tell me more about said past life, please? I would be honored. Okay. Grab my tea. Hello, flowers. Soon to be flowers. I'm glad my little plant got to hang out with us for this live chat. It's like they grew during the live chat. They just like, they're out of control. Okay. Lilith, your very quick past life. Okay. This is interesting. Um, it's like showing me like a couple of different scenes. Um, it keeps going back and forth, so both might be connected, but I'm going to go with the first scene that I saw. Um, and it was like you were. At first, I thought you were just like a little forest creature or something. Like you were just like, oh, I'm out in, well, it's not really a forest, it's more like a jungle. Like kind of in this jungle, it's like really hot, but like unbearably hot and sweating. But like the colors that you're wearing kind of match the environment. So it's almost like you're in camouflage. And I'm wearing boots, but basically you're wearing boots and the boots are in the water, but you're holding a position and you don't want them to be in the water because like everything is already so wet, and it's like even the trees are just damp, the ground is damp, everything's damp, and it's like it rains on and off, it's muggy, it's sticky, and you can't even get the cigarette lit. um I'm trying to look if I can find anything on, because I think you're wearing a uniform, sort of. I don't know, it's kind of like a makeshift uniform. I believe you're Vietnamese. Um, I'm trying to like see if I could see anything else to give me wow, okay, this feels like the Vietnam War, but you are um, like working against North Vietnam. So you have like this makeshift outfit, I guess, to blend in. And it's like these boots, but they're not your boots. You found them. And let's see. You did get the cigarette lit, and the cigarette gave you away. It was the smell of the cigarette, and the person you were fighting against found you. Um, and it's not like you were shot. It feels like you were run through almost like with a bayonet. But you're very young, um, probably only like 16 or 17, a boy. Hmm. It was so brief, and it's just like I could feel different things, like just like feel the heat, feel like the humidity. um and like nothing had been happening there for a while. You were just like stuck in that little place for a while, so you figured it was okay to light a cigarette. It was really hard to light that cigarette, like you were trying and trying and trying. You finally got the cigarette lit, and then it gave you away. Wow, oh my goodness. Let's see. Lilith is like, my jaw's on the floor right now. Wild. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's pull a card here. Ooh, Eight of Wands. Yeah, that just kind of basically reiterates what I just said. That was a very fast life. You were just a kid, basically. Just like a teenage boy, um, doing what you thought was best for your family, for the village that you lived in, what was best for your country. Um, Not really any sort of formal military training. Really, I feel like you were just I'm gonna go fight. I'm part of the fight. Um, But unfortunately, yeah, it was the cigarette. So yeah, that was a very brief life, but although it may feel like, well, it seems like there was years before my actual birth. Well, like in this incarnation, time moves a little differently outside of this realm. It's not so linear, doesn't feel like so long. All time exists at once outside this realm. So it's like everything is now, and I also feel like that's why a lot of our family members, when they cross over, they go to heaven, and they don't seem to be so saddened, even though we're like, yeah, but we're left behind, aren't they sad? It's because everything is in the now. In their world, we're already rejoined, so it's like, that there was no time for sadness, really. But yeah, I feel like it was just this: you're gone, you're past, you're run through, and now I'm reborn. I'm um, in the incarnation that you are now. It seemed like it was just a split second, although to us we might be like, oh well, like linearly there was some time that was passing. That doesn't seem so fast, but it was. It was. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Okay. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. um let's see, Lilith says, I was but quit 5 years ago. Oh wow. um okay, let's see, let's go back here. Costalini says, it's like watching a kid steal cookies from the cookie jar from a camera or on camera. Nice. Um, uh, okay, Duality Tale said, okay, just for my next reading, based on any past lives that I may have had, how can I apply the last reading to this modern world? Thank you, Lilith, for the inspiration. Ah, excellent. Costalini says, I bet you aren't a smoker in this life now, though. Wow. Okay, Mia, let's see where you are in the group here. So we have Lilith. Okay, so we have Duality Tale is next. And then we have I Flips. And then Love Mia, you'd be right after that. Okay, so thank you, thank you. All right. So Duality Tale, can I apply the last reading to this modern world? So you are wanting, okay. So for this next reading that I'm going to do now, so you want to just kind of change the question a little bit to have it based on any past life that may apply to what's going on in the modern world right now. Okay. 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 Um, okay, let's tap in. And more tea, of course. Okay. Okay. So the past life that was coming through, um, I can't really pinpoint the tribe, but you are a part of a native tribe, like you're a Native American. Um, you might be from around here, actually. I'm trying to look at the beadwork and everything to see if you might be Apache. Um, this is around the time of when we had the cavalry basically come in here. um, and we are kind of like establishing the area. But anyway, so there's a lot of natives being moved from their land and being moved on to reservations at the time. But this isn't the source of your conflict, really. You're talking to, um, actually, you're like really, really young. You're like a young man, and you're talking to another young man. Um, but the young man that you're speaking to belongs to the U.S. military, but you guys are roughly the same age. So I'd say late teens, early 20s. Um, and you're talking about your bow and arrow, and just like why you decorate the arrow like you do, why it's built the way it is. And this kid's trying to tell you that, like this whatever flintlock thing that they got going on is like the technology is just so much better. That why would anybody go back to what you guys have, like bows and arrows? Like here we have, our freaking, guns and rifles and stuff. Like we we could do so much more with this than you could do with your bow and arrow. And so then it like gets, I feel like there's like this contest. And the guy's like, okay, well, there was an animal, like a squirrel or something, that you guys saw in the tree. And so you're like, I bet I can get closer to this animal and be more accurate in killing the animal, without causing it any sort of suffering, um, with my bow and arrow. And the other kid, that you're talking to is like, like I could like be way back there and I could shoot him and it would be just fine. So you end up letting the other guy go first. He didn't he didn't even get to fire a shot before the squirrel, or I think it was a squirrel, was aware and took off running. Um, there was another animal that you find, and the other boys, watching you intently, and you're able to get really close. And when you shot your arrow, it seemed like there wasn't any suffering. There was no suffering with the animal. It was more like a rabbit or something. Um, and so then the boy was curious on like how you learned your archery, like how you learned your bow and arrow, and how do you stay so quiet. Um, and so it's this kind of going back to your original reading and talking about the modern world of, sometimes we can invent and do things, but it doesn't always mean that it's better or easier, may even create more work for us. And so in this case, in your past life, you were showing that even though you had a quote unquote primitive tool, that it seemed to be far more effective than the technology of the time, that you could be quieter, you could carry more arrows with you than this person could carry heavy metal balls of steel, plus, the gunpowder and everything, that was required, at the time. So it's like, um, it was like you were laughing at the kid, like you were looking at him like he was the primitive one. Like, look how primitive your tool is. Look how loud you are. Look, it's like you're like just a baby. You have no idea how to be a warrior, or even a hunter. And so, but it seems like you're in a camp of some sorts because there's all these other buildings, and there's a lot of natives there, but there's also a lot of this military presence. But it's just what's coming through is just that you were laughing at the fact that he thought you were the one that was like from some ancient time, and you're like so out of date, and you're laughing at him because it's like, no, bro, you're out of date. Like, so kind of applying that into the modern world. Let me just quick pull a card as well. Maybe also taking a stock of the things that you have in your life, not just like the modern tools, but like the way we go about things. Is there a way that might be better regardless of what era it came from? Better for you, not necessarily, everybody's going to adopt it, but this is you, this is your life, this is your journey. So what's best for you? And it's okay if it's something that we used to do a long time ago, and people are like, duality tale, like that's so 1800s. Like, who cares? If it works, it works. And in many cases, it seems to work more efficiently and effectively. Aha, Nine of Pentacles, definitely. So that's for me confirmation of kind of the life that was coming through. But yeah, look at the things that you have in your home. Again, I believe part of your reading was, just looking at everything around you, everything that you've surrounded yourself with, everything that you decide this is just kind of how I do things, in my modern life. But are there other ways of doing it that would be as good, if not even more effective, than what we have available to us right now, even though it's more modern, it's more techy. We got Bluetooth now, and we got, Wi-Fi, we got, we got people putting microchips in their brain, and, all this stuff. But is it necessarily better for you personally? So this is just start looking around. Start looking around your home. Start looking at how you clothe yourself, how you feed yourself, how you put a roof over your head, how you have your technology, and you utilize it, your electricity. And so it's just some things to take a look at. I hope that makes sense. Let's see. Duality Tale says, without me being a tree hugger. Says, well, this is why I love to learn from you. Well, yeah, I hope it connected, and something that you can meditate on later and possibly journal. But yeah, it was just this. It seemed like a funny situation where you have this kid that's quote unquote modern, of the modern times, the modern weaponry that we had, the modern uniforms and everything, and he's like, chef, native guy, what are you going to do with that bow and arrow like that I can't do with my rifle? And then it turns out that native guy is pretty good at what he does, and way better than you are with your rifle. So interesting. Thank you, Duality Tale. You are amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Lilith says, I cover a song about the Vietnam War. Now I'm understanding the connection. I can see myself delving into the history of it all. Oh my goodness. Holy cow. That is synchronicity. Definitely why that's coming up. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Let's take a look at iFlips, our friend iFlips. And then we have our friend Love Mia, I believe is next. Okay, so iFlips. It says, around July, I hired a witch to do some spell work. She has been scattered, but has not done things when she said she would. Lots of communication delays. Nothing has happened. What's going on? Okay. So somebody was being tasked with helping you out with something, but there's been no real communication, and kind of left you in the dark there. I'm sorry to hear that. Whether you're dealing with witchy folk or the plumber, coming over, that's not a good feeling when you literally get no communicado. Okay, let's dive in. I'm not sure of all the words of this song, but the melody's playing in my head. I'm going back, Jack, do it again. Do 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 do. Maybe Riley will know this song and we'll be able to put the song there for you, because I do not. The band name and the name is not coming to mind, but the melody is just like I hear it. It's playing. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull that card. Oh, Steely Dan. Okay. Excellent. Flips is like wheels going round and round, round and round, round and round. Okay, so let's see. It's a good song. I'm rocking out to it right now. Okay, Four of Swords. Mm, it feels like this person got started on their task with you, um, but they got distracted. They had some other clients that they were working with, plus there were some personal things that were coming up. And I don't feel like they forgot, but they kind of just put it off. Um, and they're trying to put it off for as long as possible. Mm, not because they're malicious or anything, but they're just prioritizing their personal life first. Um, and so what they do for a living has kind of been like it's extra. It's like, well, if I have time, then I'll get to this person's request, and then if I have time, I'll get to this person's request. But it seems like they're just kind of focused on themselves right now. And so, like I said, they started on your request, but they have not finished it. And I don't know if they're going to get back to it anytime soon. It doesn't feel like it, um, because it's, yeah, they're just so, like, I'm feeling like the person right now. I feel like my head is a spinning. I'm not very grounded. It's like I have to do this and I have to do this. But it's more like personal life stuff, and like the drama of it all. There's a lot of drama going on in my life right now, um, and so they're just kind of dealing with that, and they're dealing with their mental health and their emotional health, and so there are a few clients that they finally finished um, their personal requests on. But yeah, this person's just kind of getting to it when they feel like it. Um, and they're also trying to avoid an uncomfortable conversation about why it's taking so long. So this person just opts to not really communicate with their clients at all. Um, they just assume that you assume that it'll get done when it needs to get done. So this person's just kind of like my life first, and then I'll get to my clients when I get to my clients. So it's been started, but it has not been completed. And as of right now, they're not working on completing it. But um, maybe as some of this stuff clears up in their life, some of the drama going on, they might go back to completing it, because I do see them actually like working, like doing stuff for every once in a while and finishing up other requests. But I just see like this stall with you and at least three or four other people are just kind of being put on a hold at the moment while they work on their personal life. Mm, interesting. Okay, let's see here. Um, iFlip says she's had a million and one things come up. I try to hold space for people, but it's been hard to believe her various reasons, excuses. It's been pretty disappointing to say the least. Thank you so much. Your read is exactly what I thought was going on. Yeah, it's like I said, I don't feel like the person is malicious or like, just trying to take people's money or anything. I don't feel that at all, but I do feel that their number one priority is their life. Um, and they get so distracted and so ungrounded with what's going on in their life. They're not in the space to help other people. you know. So, but when she does feel a little more calm, she has been completing, her requests or, client requests, but it's kind of up to you, how you want to, what you want to do with the information. If you want to be like, hey, can we just like nip it in the bud? We'll just stop it here. Or, just wait for her to get to it when she gets to it. Or I don't know. It's up to you. But yeah, she definitely has a lot mentally and emotionally on her plate. Okay, so thank you for allowing me to read for you. Um, Melissa's, that's a beautiful necklace, by the way. Is it onyx? It is actually black obsidian, and it has the Thunderbird carved onto it, which I love. All right, so let's go back here. Love Mia is next. All right, so Love Mia says, my question, what are Anthony's feelings currently? Is he serious? We have been dating for some time, but nothing is official yet. Okay, so let's take a look. Monsieur Anthony. Anthony. Okay, I'm gonna have a little bit more tea. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. Okay, I think we got Jefferson Airplane coming in. One drop makes you larger, one drop makes you small. So basically, the Alice in Wonderland song. I know that's probably not the name of the song, but to me, it's the Alice in Wonderland song. Okay. When I'm 10 feet tall. It's a good song. I wish I wouldn't get demonetized every time we play music. Otherwise, I'd be just cranking music the whole time on this freaking channel. White Rabbit. Okay. Well, yes, because, well, there is the White Rabbit. Chase it down the rabbit hole. Go get him, Alice. Okay. So is this, how is this connected to Anthony? Anthony. Oh. Okay, this is one of those. This deck has a couple of extra cards in it. This is one of those extra cards. This is a moon dog. So if you guys have ever seen a sun dog where you see kind of like that ring or that halo around the sun, well, this is a moon dog. Sometimes when you see the halo around the moon, usually means you're going to have snow sometimes, or a storm or something. But anyway, so this is a moon dog going on. Okay, let's tap in. Okay. I'm just trying to get into feel out his brain here for a second. Okay, so all right. So Anthony is like, you and him just trucking right along, and in his mind, he's smitten, he really likes you, but he doesn't feel yet that like he has his whole life figured out, so he doesn't like to solidify anything yet, like he, in his mind, like relationships and matters of the heart come after I want to put this, proven myself to be a man, you know, where like I feel like I'm at a good place when it comes to like what I want to do, and my work, and that I'm, just that I know who I am, and that I feel stable and secure. So he just kind of wants to feel like a man right now. And for him, man doesn't mean that I also have my relationship all figured out. So it's like I like this person. I really genuinely enjoy spending time with this person, but I don't have all the other parts of my life figured out. So for him, his priority list is I figure out the other parts of my life first. And then when I feel stable and secure, like that's when you're like, hey, love Mia, now let's have that deeper conversation. But he's not really ready for that deeper conversation yet, because he's just focusing on the other parts of his life. He wants to make sure that I am where I want to be. I know who I am. I know what I want. That I'm keeping the friends that I should be keeping right now in this life, at this point in my life, I should say. So it's like he's still kind of figuring himself out, and he's trying, kind of like what we were talking about with our friend Costolini, how he's kind of like in this space right now where he's trying to find himself, and so he's kind of venturing out on his own. Well, this Anthony guy, he's trying to do that as well, but he's not single, obviously. He's with you, but he is trying while you're there to figure out who am I, because he can't make anything official yet, or at least in his mind, I can't make anything official yet with this person till I really know who I am and what I want. Because how am I supposed to be like, hey, love Mia, take me Anthony, because I know who Anthony is, if he doesn't, then it's like, how am I supposed to have this person like want to make things official with me when I don't even know who I am? It's like, then who are you even dating? I want to know who she's dating. I want to know. That's me. So I need to know who I am first. So, like I said, I do feel he does have feelings for you. He feels actually really smitten with you. He really does like you. But as far as like relationships, that comes last in his life, at least in this point in his life. He has prioritized that last. Everything else comes first. And because in his mind, I guess it makes logical sense. If I know who I am, then matters of the heart can be easier, to figure out and flesh out, as long as I know who I am going into these things. So I hope that makes sense for you. With Mia says, so it's basically can see me as long term, kind of. Yes. So that's also another thing that I wanted to mention. It's like he knows that he's probably going to be with you for a while, but he doesn't want to make any promises yet. Like it's like, I don't want to put that stamp on it. I don't want to be like, oh, we're going to be a thing for a really long time. Like it's like, no, I don't even want to put that out there yet. Like, but just wait. Like, let me just figure out the rest of my life first before I start making promises to her. Because what happens if something happens and I'm not the person she thought I was, or maybe, this is not the direction I wanted to go. And then I end up breaking things off with her. I mean, here I've broken this girl's heart. Like, I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to make anything official. I'm trying even not to think long term right now. It's like, let me just figure out me, and then I'll talk to her when I'm ready. But he's just not ready yet. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. Thank you, Love Mia, for allowing me to read for you. Duality Tale said, so do the people still stand a chance? The peoples mean like the collective consciousness peoples, us peoples. Let me have some more tea. Love Mia said, thank you, no problem. Thank you. Okay. I mean, my vote's always on humanity. We come through in all the movies, right? We come through in the music. Pretty sure we'll make it through in this one in 3D. But let's pull a card on it. Mhm, mhm. Okay. Oop, okay. Excellent, excellent. All right. My vote's on humanity. Let's see. Let's do it. Let's tap in. This current timeline. Okay, this might be. Let me just let me just ground myself a little bit. I've been in this space before where I was feeling literally the entire collective consciousness and kind of tripped out in our bedroom once. So let me try not to trip out this time. That would be great. Okay. Okay. Um, okay. um, so the voice, I'm kind of deaf in one ear right now. Um, the voice, uh, have heard that voice before. Sort of, it's like creator's voice. Um, he's like, because it's not really a, it's like a sound. It's a vibration, but it's not words. So I'm trying to put into words what I'm feeling. Um, a little dizzy. Um, he says, "Do you think I would allow my creation to become destroyed? Do you think I would allow that?" When I took form on earth, were they able to kill me? No. It was illusion for them. I came back. So, no. As the one who creates, and you are a piece of that creation, no, humanity does not lose. You never lose. He's saying that he's always here for everyone. And although there are equally powerful forces that are dark and evil, he says inherently, you are not dark and evil. I put that light in each of you. All you have to do is turn to it. No darkness can touch it. No, my creation will not be destroyed. So he's just saying that's not how it plays out. And it never will play out in that way. Whew. Okay. I'm like burning up. Ow, my arm hurts. Oh my goodness. Whew. Yep, Riley says, I got your back, humanity. Heck yeah. Um, Lilith is like, wow. Hey, Maria Scorpio, how are you? Oh my goodness. Okay, let's pull a card on that as well. Although I'm like getting the Psylocke. He's like, do you really need to pull a card on that? Like, no, I guess not. Sorry, sir. So it's coming straight from the creator. I guess you don't need to pull a card. Oh my gosh, I am like, good thing I'm wearing black. I am so sweaty right now, and my arm hurts so bad right now. Wow. Okay. Good question, Duality Tale. Yes, go humanity. I mean, you got freaking creation on your side. So, oh my goodness. Okay. Let me calm down now. That's really, really a lot of energy. I was trying so hard not to trip out, you guys. I even went deaf in one ear for a minute there. Okay. Let's see. Maria Scorpio says, I was wondering, has Philip met a new woman romantically? We broke up a while ago. Well, we are still doing our super chats and super stickers. If you'd like to jump in, actually, you would be next if you did jump in. So yeah, thank you. Oh my goodness, Duality Tale. You guys have always amazing questions. Costalini says Klaus Schwab and chill. Yeah, Schwab. He can go calm his tits. Anyway, Duality Tale says, wow, thank you so much, Tara. If only I had same gift as you share with the world. You know what? It's all a part of our creations, all a part of the divine. It's in each and every one of us. We just utilize it in different ways. Sometimes we don't even know we're utilizing it. Sometimes it's just in our, kindness towards others. Sometimes we're utilizing it in our art and whatnot, but we all have it. It's just, we just use it differently is all. Riley said, and with that, remember, love God, love people, share Jesus. Maria Scorpio says, is there a free chat? I know that there are, what's his name? I used to watch him all the time. Nicholas Ashbaugh, I think he might still be doing some of the free chats. And in fact, I think he's still on Sundays if he didn't move to Saturdays. But yeah, check out Nicholas Ashbaugh as well. Definitely, if you go back and watch the replay, oftentimes I find that the questions that people ask for, our one card polls definitely apply to like all of us, which is why I think it's great. And also, wonderful that people would be, able to share, these parts of themselves through these one card readings, because, I know that sometimes some things are personal, but in the end, I think that we all benefit from all these answers that come through and help us in our journey. So I know that there's probably going to be some good stuff there through all the people that have asked questions already today. So definitely check those out as well. But thank you, you guys. I think on that, holy cow. Wow, what a way to end a live chat. So let's go ahead and do a meditation, which I always try to do at the end of our live chats. Thank you to everybody who allowed me to read for them. And thank you for being with me on this journey as we switch up this channel and evolve and grow. And I'm glad you like my herbal-ness, because that's kind of what I want to do with our live chats. And, not do the same thing every single time, but it'll be in the realm of animals and herbs and going out into the forest and, all of that, especially when it gets a little bit warmer. We'll be kind of out there. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. Lila says, did we do a weekly poll or did I space out? Not today. I kind of felt like allowing whatever it was that the herb based on like the ailments people were talking about like the back pain and reproductive pain and all of these things, that I felt like the herb would lead us for the week. And that herb was, I still have my book open, was valerian. So in all the different aspects that valerian is able to help us. I thought that maybe we could meditate with that herb this week, tap into it, especially if it doesn't grow native in your area or you don't have access to like actually physically buying the herb. We can always tap in energetically. We're all connected. Herbs are part of the collective consciousness as well, so kind of tapping in and, based on its specialties, which is reducing stress, sleepiness, calm, stilling the mind. Is there a way that we can apply some of that energy into our life this week? And maybe, who knows, maybe things get stay tuned for Cray Cray episode 45 in this crazy world. Anyway, maybe we're going to need a little bit of valerian's help this week. So definitely tap in. Let me know what you guys get. And I enjoy the messages. You guys email me. Some of you guys see me over on Instagram at Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and people have messaged me over there. So yeah, let me know what you get with valerian this week. Maybe you make a tea out of it. Maybe you give it to your kitty cats and they went berserkos. So let me know. Definitely. Oh, hey, Punky79 says, glad I caught the live chat. Well, welcome. Well, for a second there, I thought somebody was standing there. They probably are. Anyway, so hello to all the spirits that are also in this room. Okay, let me get out of the way so that we can do our meditation. Okay, you guys have a choice. You have four options. Okay, impromptu poll. Here we go. For your meditation, would you like the tongue drum? That's that, it's got drumsticks, tongue drum. Would you like the regular drum, like the animal skin drum? Would you like the Tibetan singing bowl or the flute? Flute, bowl, tongue drum, or regular drum? Let me know, and we'll vote on that, and then that'll be what I use for our meditation. Let's see. Oh, Crystal Rose says hello from England. Well, hello across the pond. How are you? Melly said, thank you. This is excellent. Well, thank you. I'm glad you were able to join us. Punky votes for the tongue drum. Lilith votes for the drum. What else do we got? What do you guys vote for? So it's flute, tongue drum, drum, or Tibetan singing bowl. Punky's over there with the tongue drum. Okay, so we have tongue drum, drum. I almost said red rum. No, not red rum. No. And I will finish off our tea. Wow, you guys submit your votes. So let me know, would you like me to use flute, the regular drum, tongue drum, or Tibetan singing bowl? You could just say singing bowl. You don't have to spell it Tibetan singing bowl. If I was better at the guitar, I would also add that as an option. But I'm sorry, I only know 3 chords, and those are power chords because I'm rock and roll, baby. Okay. Riley said, who wouldn't appreciate a little tongue drum? Right. Good job, honey. Okay, well, I guess that makes it 2 for the tongue drum then. Duality Hills voted for the Tibetan Singing Bowl. Okay. So technically we have 2 for tongue drum, 1 for regular drum, 1 for Tibetan Singing Bowl. Do we have any other votes? On all the pieces of equipment are back here. So Punky says you could do a smelly cat type one with the car. I could. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm just moving certain things out of the way so that I can get a nice visual for you. All right. Looks like Melly also says tongue drum. We're going tongue drum, you guys. Okay. She has a licky face, like an actual tongue. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Let's bring you guys in. Maybe I could bring this down a touch. Give me a nice visual to be in for your meditation. You know, some people like to close their eyes, some people don't. So might as well be a nice visual. Anywho. Okay. I don't know if it'll make a difference if I take my microphone off or not, but maybe I should take it off because sometimes I think the noise canceling on the microphone might cancel out the drum. I don't know. Any input from Riley? Should microphone come off or not? Okay. All right. Unlocking microphone now. Disengaged. Okay. All right. Just a little test. Let me know how it comes through. Further away? Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. All right, you guys, go ahead and get yourselves into a nice, comfortable space. A place you will be undisturbed for the next several minutes. You could be laying on your bed, sitting in a chair, perhaps seated on the floor or underneath your favorite tree. Whatever is most comfortable for you. And as you get yourself nice and settled in, go ahead and bring your awareness to your breath. Feeling the rise and fall of your chest. And as through the mind, we just acknowledge them and allow them to pass through. Just smile, acknowledge, and allow them to pass. And as you continue to breathe, feeling the breath as it moves from the top of your head down to your tippy toes, just feeling where we might feel a little blocked in our body, perhaps a little stiff or sore. Whatever area of your body needs a little extra TLC, just breathe into that area. And as you breathe out, imagine releasing anything that might be causing that stiffness or that soreness, that achiness that we may feel. Just breathe it out. Breathing in that healing light and breathing out what no longer serves us. And as you continue to breathe, imagine that you are approaching a garden. This is your spiritual garden. It can be as lush or as simple as you wish. And if you have a hard time visualizing, then try to imagine the smell, the scent. Perhaps you feel the wind, a gentle breeze maybe in your garden. Maybe you hear the sound of the pollinators as they move about your garden. But somewhere in the center of your garden, almost as if a beautiful beam of light shining like a spotlight right there in the center of your garden, directing your attention there, there, seated in the soil. All other plants seem to move away as if in awe of this beautiful plant. With its gentle stems, its delicate white flowers, we recognize this as valerian. Breathe in as you allow the music of valerian to aid you at this time. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this live chat for you. Go ahead and give yourselves a nice little stretch, especially if Valerian put you to sleep, took you into a dreamy state. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me in this live chat and hanging out with my plants and all my herbally friends. And thank you for participating and allowing me to read for you guys. And I'm really excited about the direction of Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. And like I said, I already have the new name, but I want to wait until like the website is done. So it's like, boom, ta-da, boom, shakalaka. Here we go. So I am super excited about all of it, and I can't wait to share more herbally, cooking, off-griddy, foresty, foraging, healing goodness with you guys. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. And Melly Star said, beautiful. Lilith said, thank you so much. Punky said, lovely music. Lilith says, many well wishes to all. Punky says, have a great week, all. Duality Tale said, thank you. I always learned something new. Melly said, so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a great week. Don't forget to tap into Valerian. See what you may gather from this Herbal Ally this week. Definitely let me know. Like I said, you can email me. My email address is down below. You can message me or DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is also down below at Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. Let me know how you got along with our friend Valerian. So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye, guys.